I sat in that courtroom, my hands shaking so hard I had to hide them under the table. My lawyer whispered something to me, but I couldn't hear him. All I could see was my daughter Lily, sitting in the back row with her grandmother, holding something in her small hands. Something that would change everything. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you how a normal Tuesday morning turned into the worst nightmare of my life. If you're enjoying this story so far, please hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from because we absolutely love hearing from you. My name is Maya Williams, and 6 months ago, I thought I had a pretty good life. Not perfect but good enough. Every morning started the same way. I would wake up at 6 o'clock, tiptoe down the hallway past Lily's room where my 7-year-old daughter slept with her stuffed rabbit tucked under her chin, and I would start breakfast. Pancakes on Mondays. Toast with scrambled eggs on Tuesdays. Oatmeal with berries on Wednesdays. My husband Devin liked things organized, planned out, the same every week. I didn't mind. It felt safe, like we were a real family. I used to work in marketing before Lily was born. I loved my job. I made good money, had my own office with a window that looked out over the city, and got to create campaigns for big companies. But when Lily turned 2, Devin sat me down at the kitchen table and said we needed to talk. He said Lily needed her mother at home, that daycare wasn't good enough, that a child grows better when mom is there every single day. He said his job as a financial advisor made enough money for all of us, so I didn't need to worry. I could focus on being the best mother possible. It sounded so caring when he said it. So loving. So I quit my job. I gave up my salary, my office, my independence. I thought I was doing the right thing for my family. For 5 years, I poured everything into being that perfect mother. I made organic lunches for Lily. I drove her to dance class, swimming lessons, and art club. I kept the house spotless. I made dinner every night at exactly 6:30, right when Devin walked through the door. He would kiss me on the cheek, pat Lily on the head, and sit down to eat. We looked like a magazine family. But if you looked closer, really closer, you would see the cracks. Devin stopped talking to me about his day. When I asked him questions, he gave me one-word answers. Yes, no, fine, maybe. He started coming home later and later. 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Sometimes 10. He said he had client meetings, emergency calls, reports to finish. I believed him because I wanted to believe him. Because doubting him meant doubting everything. Then came the cologne. Devin never wore cologne before. He said it gave him headaches. But suddenly, there was this new smell, something expensive and spicy, clinging to his shirts when he came home. I found the receipt in his jacket pocket one day when I was doing laundry. $200 for a bottle of cologne. $200 that came from our joint bank account, the one I barely looked at anymore because Devin handled all the money. I started noticing other things too. New ties. Fancy coffee from shops downtown. Receipts from restaurants I had never been to. Once, I heard him laughing on the phone in the garage, his voice warm and playful in a way he never sounded with me anymore. When he came back inside, his face went cold again, like someone had turned off a light switch. Lily noticed too. Children always notice more than we think. She would watch her father from across the dinner table with these big, serious eyes. One night, she whispered to me while I was tucking her into bed, "Why doesn't Daddy smile at us anymore, Mommy?" I didn't have an answer. I just hugged her tight and told her everything was fine, even though my heart was breaking into 1,000 pieces. The worst part was how small he made me feel. Devin started criticizing everything. The house wasn't clean enough, even though I scrubbed it every day. Dinner was too salty or not salty enough. I was spending too much on groceries, even though I clipped coupons and shopped at the cheapest stores. He made me feel like I couldn't do anything right, like I was a burden instead of a partner. I started second-guessing everything I did. Was I a good mother? Was I a good wife? Maybe he was right. Maybe I wasn't enough. Then came the night that changed everything. It was a Thursday in March, cold and rainy. Devin came home at 7, which was early for him lately. He didn't kiss my cheek. He didn't pat Lily's head. He just stood in the doorway with rain dripping from his coat and said 5 words that made my blood turn to ice. I filed for divorce today. I couldn't breathe. The room spun. Lily dropped her fork, and it clattered against her plate. Devin didn't look at either of us. He just turned and walked to the bedroom, leaving wet footprints on the floor I had just mopped. The next morning, a man in a suit knocked on my door and handed me a thick envelope. Inside were divorce papers, but they weren't just about ending our marriage. They were about destroying me. Devin was asking for full custody of Lily. He was asking for the house, the car, everything. And there was something else, something that made me feel sick. He was accusing me of being an unfit mother. The papers said I was emotionally unstable, that I couldn't take care of Lily properly, that I had neglected her. None of it was true. None of it. But there it was, written in cold legal language, trying to turn me into a monster. I called Devin, my hands shaking so hard I could barely hold the phone. How could you do this? How could you lie about me? His voice was calm, almost bored. I'm not lying, Maya. I'm protecting my daughter. You've changed. You're not the woman I married. Lily deserves better. I gave up everything for this family. I gave up my career, my money, everything. And that was your choice, he said. Nobody forced you. Now I'm making my choice. Sign the papers and make this easy, or we'll go to court and you'll lose everything anyway. He hung up. I stood there in my kitchen, the same kitchen where I had made thousands of meals, where I had celebrated Lily's birthdays, where I had tried so hard to build a life, and I realized something terrible. This wasn't random. This wasn't a sudden decision. Devin had been planning this for a long time. The distance. The coldness. The money. He had been setting me up to fail, brick by brick, day by day, until I had nothing left to stand on. But he didn't know one thing. He didn't know that Lily had been watching. He didn't know that my quiet, serious little girl with her stuffed rabbit and her big eyes had seen things, had heard things, had recorded things on her old tablet that she used for games. And she was about to show the whole world exactly what kind of man her father really was. Before we continue with what happened next, if you're finding this story gripping and you want to see how it ends, please hit that like button right now. Share this video with your friends and family because someone out there might be going through the exact same thing and needs to hear this. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss stories like this, and drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. We absolutely love hearing from you, and your support means everything. I didn't sleep that night after Devin served me with those papers. I sat at the kitchen table reading every single page, and with each word, my stomach felt sicker and sicker. Devin claimed I forgot to pick Lily up from school 3 times. That was a lie. He said I left her alone in the house while I went shopping. Another lie. He said I screamed at her and made her cry. I had never, ever raised my voice at my daughter. Every single accusation was made up, twisted, or exaggerated until I looked like the worst mother in the world. But the worst part was the money. I finally looked at our bank account online, something Devin always told me not to worry about. The joint account that used to have $20,000 in it was almost empty. Just $300 left. Where did it all go? I checked the statements and saw transfers to an account I didn't recognize. Devin had been moving our money little by little for months, hiding it somewhere I couldn't touch it. I went to our bedroom closet where I kept my grandmother's jewelry, the only valuable things I owned that were truly mine. The velvet box was gone. The pearl necklace my grandmother wore on her wedding day. The gold bracelet my mother gave me when Lily was born. The diamond earrings I was saving for Lily when she grew up. All of it gone. Devin had taken everything. I felt like I was drowning. I had no money. No job. No way to fight back. Devin had made sure of that. He had spent 5 years making me completely dependent on him, and now he was using that dependence to destroy me. The next morning, I called every lawyer in town. Most of them cost money I didn't have. Some of them said they were too busy. But finally, one lawyer named James Rivera agreed to meet with me for free. He was a tall man with kind eyes and gray hair, and when I walked into his small office above a pizza shop, he offered me coffee and a chair and actually listened. I told him everything. The lies in the divorce papers. The missing money. The stolen jewelry. How Devin had isolated me and made me give up my career. James took notes and nodded, and when I finished, he leaned back in his chair and sighed. Maya, I'm going to be honest with you. This is bad. Your husband has been planning this for a long time. But there's something else you need to know. He pulled out a paper from the court file. Devin has hired an expert witness. Her name is Dr. Elena Martinez. She's a child psychologist, and according to this, she evaluated Lily and determined that you're an unfit parent. My heart stopped. What? I never met any Dr. Martinez.
Lily never met her either.
James frowned. According to her report, she spent 3 hours with Lily last month at Devon's request. She claims Lily told her she's afraid of you, that you ignore her, that she feels safer with her father. I started crying right there in his office. That's impossible. Lily and I are best friends. We do everything together. She tells me everything.
This woman is lying.
I believe you, James said quietly. And I'm going to prove it. But Maya, you need to understand something. Dr. Martinez has an excellent reputation. She's testified in dozens of custody cases. Judges trust her. If she says you're unfit, the judge will probably believe her unless we can show she's wrong. Over the next 2 weeks, James investigated. He found out that Dr. Elena Martinez had worked on 5 other cases in the past year, and in every single one, she sided with the father against the mother. Every single time. That seemed suspicious, but James said it wasn't enough to prove anything. We needed hard evidence. Devon's lawyer, a sharp woman named Patricia Caldwell, called me one afternoon. Her voice was sweet like honey, but I could hear the poison underneath. Maya, darling, let's be reasonable. You don't want to drag your daughter through a nasty court battle, do you? Sign over custody to Devon, take a small settlement, and everyone can move on peacefully. Devon is being very generous. He'll give you $50,000 and you can start fresh somewhere else.
50,000?
I said. That house is worth 400,000, and half of it is mine.
Our savings, the cars, everything. You want me to walk away with almost nothing?
Well, dear, considering the accusations against you, 50,000 is quite fair. If we go to court and Dr. Martinez testifies, you might end up with nothing at all. No money, no house, and no Lily. Think about it. She hung up before I could respond. I realized this was all part of the plan. Scare me. Intimidate me. Make me feel so hopeless that I would just give up and disappear. Devon wanted me gone, and he wanted to keep everything, including our daughter. James filed motions. We demanded to see Dr. Martinez's notes. We asked for proof of her evaluation. We requested bank records showing where Devon hid the money. But Devon's side kept delaying, pushing things back, making excuses. Meanwhile, I was living in that house with Devon, and it was torture. He ignored me completely. He told Lily not to talk to me. He made me feel like a ghost in my own home. Lily started leaving me little notes under my pillow. I love you, Mommy. Don't be sad. I know the truth. She was only 7 years old, but she understood something terrible was happening. And she was braver than anyone knew. Finally, the court date arrived. James told me to dress nicely, to stay calm, to answer questions simply and honestly. Don't let them rattle you, he said. We have some surprises of our own. I didn't know what he meant. I was terrified. The courtroom was cold and smelled like old wood and fear. Devon sat at the other table with Patricia Caldwell, looking confident and calm in his expensive suit. Dr. Elena Martinez sat behind them, a beautiful woman with perfect hair and a clipboard. She looked so professional, so trustworthy. How could I fight against that? The judge was an older woman named Judge Patricia Holbrook with reading glasses and a stern face. She looked at me like I was already guilty. Devon testified first. He talked about how I had changed, how I stopped taking care of myself, how I was always tired and sad. He said Lily came to him crying because I yelled at her. He said he was worried about Lily's safety. He said all of this while looking the judge right in the eye, calm and sincere, like he was the hero saving his daughter from a terrible mother. Patricia Caldwell smiled.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Then it was my turn. I told the truth. I explained how I gave up my career for our family. How Devon controlled all the money. How he moved our savings without telling me. How he took my jewelry. How every accusation he made was a lie. But when Patricia cross-examined me, she twisted everything. Isn't it true you have no income, Mrs. Williams?
Yes, but that's because...
Yes or no, please?
Yes.
Isn't it true you haven't worked in 5 years?
Yes, but Devon asked me to.
Yes or no?
Yes.
She made me sound lazy, incompetent, like a burden. I saw the judge taking notes, her face unreadable. Then Dr. Elena Martinez took the stand. She spoke in a calm, confident voice about child psychology, attachment theory, and parental fitness. She said she evaluated Lily and found signs of emotional neglect. She said Lily expressed fear and anxiety about her mother. She recommended full custody go to Devon for Lily's well-being. It was devastating. Every word she said felt like a nail in my coffin. James tried to question her, but she had answers for everything. She was too smooth, too perfect. I thought I had lost. I thought Lily would be taken from me forever.
I could see Devon smirking at his table. But then James stood up and said, "Your Honor, I have one more witness. I'd like to call Lily Williams to the stand."
The courtroom went silent. Devon's face went pale. Patricia Caldwell jumped up.
"Your Honor, this is highly irregular. The child is only 7 years old."
Judge Holbrook looked at Lily, who was standing up in the back of the courtroom, holding something in her hands. "Approach," the judge said. And that's when everything changed. If you're on the edge of your seat right now wondering what Lily is about to reveal, make sure you're subscribed to this channel because we share powerful true stories like this every week. Hit that like button, share this with someone who needs inspiration today, and comment below telling us where you're watching from. We love our community and we read every single comment. Now let's see what happened next. Lily walked slowly to the front of the courtroom. She looked so tiny standing there in her blue dress with white flowers, the one I had bought her for her school concert. Her hair was in 2 braids, and she clutched her old tablet against her chest like it was a shield. My heart was pounding so hard I thought everyone could hear it. Judge Holbrook leaned forward. "Hello, sweetheart. What's your name?" "Lily Marie Williams," my daughter said in a small but clear voice. "How old are you, Lily?"
7.5.
The judge smiled gently. "That's a good age.
Now, Lily, do you know why you're here today?"
Lily nodded. "Because Daddy is lying about Mommy, and someone needs to tell the truth." Devon shot up from his chair. "Your Honor, this is ridiculous. She's a child. She's been coached." "Sit down, Mr. Williams," Judge Holbrook said sharply. "I'll decide what's ridiculous." She looked back at Lily. "Go ahead, honey. Tell me what you mean." Lily took a deep breath. "My mommy is the best mommy in the whole world. She never yells at me. She never forgets to pick me up from school. She makes me breakfast every morning and helps me with my homework and reads me stories at night."
"Everything Daddy said is not true."
Patricia Caldwell stood up. "Your Honor, with respect, a child's loyalty to a parent doesn't mean the parent is fit for custody." "I'm not finished," Lily said louder this time. Everyone looked at her. "I have proof." She held up her tablet. "My daddy didn't know I still use my old tablet. He bought me a new one for my birthday, so he thought this one was just in my drawer. But I still play games on it sometimes. And it still records videos." My lawyer James looked at me with wide eyes. He didn't know about this either. Judge Holbrook gestured for Lily to continue. "What did you record, Lily?" "The truth," she said. "Can I show you?" The judge nodded. A court officer helped Lily connect the tablet to the big screen in the courtroom. My hands were shaking. Devon looked like he might be sick. Dr. Elena Martinez shifted uncomfortably in her seat. The video started playing. It was shaky at first, filmed from a low angle like Lily was hiding behind something. The date stamp showed it was from 6 weeks ago, right around the time Devon said Dr. Martinez had evaluated Lily. But Lily was clearly at home, in our living room. Then Devon appeared on the screen, and he wasn't alone. Dr. Elena Martinez was with him. They were sitting close together on our couch, and Devon had his arm around her shoulders. The courtroom gasped. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. On the video, Devon's voice was clear. "So your report is finished?" Dr. Martinez laughed. "Yes, darling. It's perfect. I documented everything we discussed. The judge will believe that Lily is afraid of Maya, that she's unstable, that she neglects the child. No judge will give custody to a mother after reading my evaluation." "And you're sure this will hold up in court?" "Devon, sweetheart, I've done this 6 times before. I know exactly what judges want to hear. Your lawyer Patricia knows how to use my testimony. By the time we're done, Maya won't know what hit her. She kissed him on the cheek.
Then we can finally be together without hiding.
My entire body went numb. Devon and Dr. Martinez were having an affair. The expert witness was his girlfriend. The entire evaluation was fake. Everything was a lie. On the video, Devon stood up and walked toward the camera. Little Lily must have been hiding behind the chair. Did you transfer the rest of the money? Dr. Martinez asked. All moved to the offshore account, Devon said. Maya has no idea. She never looked at the finances. She trusted me completely. He laughed. Stupid woman gave up everything to play housewife. Now she gets nothing. The video continued. Dr. Martinez said, What about the jewelry? Sold it last week. Got $15,000 for the whole lot. Added it to our fund. Our fund, Dr. Martinez repeated, smiling. I like the sound of that. Once this divorce is final and you have full custody, we can move to California like we planned. Start fresh. Lily will adjust. And Maya will be a broken woman with no child and no future, Devon said coldly. Exactly what she deserves for being so boring. They both laughed. Then the video ended. The courtroom was completely silent. You could hear people breathing. I looked at Devon, and his face was white as paper. Dr. Martinez was staring at the floor. Patricia Caldwell was furiously writing notes, probably trying to figure out how to save her case. Judge Holbrook took off her glasses and stared at Devon for a long moment. When she finally spoke, her voice was like ice. Mr. Williams, did you conspire with Dr. Martinez to fabricate evidence in this custody case? Devon opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Did you hide marital assets in an offshore account? Still nothing. Did you steal and sell your wife's personal property? Patricia Caldwell whispered something to Devon, probably telling him not to answer. Judge Holbrook turned to Dr. Martinez. Dr. Martinez, did you file a false expert report with this court? Dr. Martinez looked terrified.
Your Honor, I can explain. There is no explanation that will satisfy me, the judge interrupted.
What you two have done is fraud. It's perjury. It's conspiracy. And it's one of the most disgusting abuses of the legal system I have seen in 30 years on the bench. She turned to Lily, and her voice became gentle again. Lily, you are a very brave girl. You did the right thing. Thank you for telling the truth. Lily nodded, tears running down her cheeks. I just wanted my mommy to be okay. Judge Holbrook looked at me with kind eyes. Mrs. Williams, I apologize that you had to endure this. I'm issuing my ruling immediately. You are granted full custody of your daughter Lily. Mr. Williams will have supervised visitation only, pending a criminal investigation into his actions. All marital assets will be frozen until a full accounting is completed, and you will receive your fair share, including compensation for your stolen jewelry. She slammed her gavel. Furthermore, I'm referring this case to the district attorney for prosecution. Mr. Williams, Dr. Martinez, and Ms. Caldwell, you should all contact criminal defense attorneys. This court is adjourned. Devon slumped in his chair. Dr. Martinez was crying. Patricia Caldwell was already packing her briefcase, probably trying to distance herself from the disaster. I ran to Lily and scooped her up in my arms, holding her so tight. She wrapped her little arms around my neck and whispered, I told you I knew the truth, Mommy. James Rivera was grinning from ear to ear. That was the most incredible thing I've ever seen in a courtroom. 6 months later, my life looks completely different. Devon is facing criminal charges for fraud and perjury. Dr. Martinez lost her license and is being sued by other families she deceived. Patricia Caldwell was suspended from practicing law for a year. I got half of everything, including the money Devon tried to hide. I sold the house because it had too many bad memories, and Lily and I moved into a cozy apartment near her school. I started my own small marketing business working from home, and it's growing every month. I'm not rich, but I'm happy. I'm free. Every Saturday, Lily and I go to Riverside Park and get ice cream. We sit on our favorite bench and talk about everything. She tells me about school, her friends, her dreams. I tell her how proud I am of her courage. Mommy, she said last Saturday, licking her strawberry cone, are you glad Daddy is gone? I thought about it carefully. I'm sad that things turned out the way they did. But I'm glad we found out the truth. And I'm grateful every single day that I have you." She smiled. "Me too. If you're reading this or watching this and you're in a situation like I was, please hear me. Document everything. Take photos. Keep records. Save emails and text messages. Tell people what's happening. Don't stay silent. And most importantly, don't let anyone make you believe you're worthless or crazy or unfit. You deserve dignity. You deserve respect. You deserve the truth. My daughter saved me by being brave enough to show the truth. But you can save yourself by refusing to accept lies. There are lawyers who will help. There are organizations that support people escaping financial abuse and toxic relationships. There is hope, even when everything feels hopeless. Love won in the end. Truth won in the end. And if a 7-year-old girl can stand up in a courtroom and expose a conspiracy, then anyone can find the courage to fight for what's right. Thank you for watching our story. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and please tell us in the comments where you're watching from and if this story inspired you. Your support means everything, and together we can help others who need to hear that they're not alone. Never give up. Never stop fighting. And never, ever underestimate the power of the truth.